this call tonight. Thank you for coming on and thank you for spending your time with us this evening. We hope what we put out here tonight is going to be something beneficial for you, something that's new, something educational, and that we hope that you get some nuggets from it and that it whets your mind to kind of wake you up to think about things a little bit differently than the way we normally do, right? We know that this program has changed lives for individuals. And that is the goal. We do the best that we can do. And, the only thing that we ask you to do is just cooperate and do what we ask. And then everything else will just fall into place. So everybody already know I am Coach Renee. I am the Debt Weapon Program. I am a coach here, and I'm just going to pull up my slide so y'all can see. And let's just talk about this for a minute. So we're going to talk about the Debt Weapon Program, and welcome to the Debt Weapon Program and Velocity Banking. And we all know so the individuals that have been on this call, we all know what these little symbols mean, the CCs, the HELOC, the PLOCs, and the BLOCs. And we'll get into that a little later, but this is what the program is all about. And so we teach people how to use and leverage their credit differently so that it can actually make a change in your life. So if you guys know what this is, it is Friday. So I just ask you please to unmute yourself and just engage me a little bit and participate with me as we do our weekly declaration. And we do our weekly declaration, right? Because we want to do the mindset change. So if you can unmute yourself, you don't have to. And if you can, that'd be great. I'm going to read it and you just repeat after me. And then we're just going to go ahead and move forward. So I see people still on mute. So is anybody going to rock with me tonight with this, or am I going to do this solo?
I got you.
I'm here.
Oh, because I didn't hear nobody, because I need to pick up and say, are y'all ready to do the declaration, or are we not ready?
Ready.
Okay, we ready. All right, guys. So here we go. This is my life.
This
This
is my
is
life.
my life.
I declare today my mindset has changed.
I declare today that my mindset has changed.
I am clear about my path.
I am clear about my path.
I am debt free.
I am debt free.
I walk in the understanding of my finances.
I walk in the understanding of my finances.
I control my spending habits.
I can control my spending habits.
Y'all know this is my favorite part, so I need some energy here. I am not a consumer.
I am not a consumer.
I am an investor.
I am an investor.
My money works for me.
My money works for me.
I live in abundance.
I live in abundance.
All things are possible to me because I believe.
All things are possible to me because I believe.
I am financially sexy.
I am financially sexy.
And I won't give up.
And I won't give up.
That's what we do every week. We deal with our mindset, right? So we know that the Debt Weapon has helped us change our minds and how we think about our money and how we use our money. So we're going to get to that a little bit too. But for all of you who don't know, I am the Debt Weapon Coach, and I am Renee Allen, and I can be reached at Renee@DeMaryFunding.com. I'm just one of the amazing coaches that is a part of this team. I have a wonderful coach as my partner here, Miss Rosie Jones Clark. She can be reached at Rosie@DeMaryFunding.com. If you have any questions, those are our email. Oh, she just came on, Rosie. You can say hello. I was just introducing you. You're on mute. Can't hear you. You're on mute.
Hey everybody, it's so good to see y'all tonight. I'm so excited about this Debt Weapon program. I hope that you are too. If you are on for the very first time, get ready because this is going to be fire.
Awesome. I need to, let me make this bigger. Let me see why is this doing this. That's okay. I can see it, right? You can see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about what is velocity banking. Velocity banking is a strategy that we teach that uses debt to pay off debt. It's faster than a traditional method and it helps you become debt-free very quickly, as well as boosting your credit score. So with that being said, we teach different strategies on how to pay your bills, when to pay your bills, how much to pay your bills, and what you're going to use to pay your bills to actually create this velocity of movement with your money. And this is why it's called velocity banking, right? So what is velocity banking? So velocity banking, a lot of people, when we talk about velocity banking, people say, well, velocity banking is a totally new concept to me. And for most people haven't heard of this concept before because it was totally new to me. And I've never heard of this strategy before I got connected to this program, right? It has, I believe in it so much because it's changed my lifestyle and my mindset, that I am sharing it with everybody that I know because it's definitely a life changer. So one of my questions was,
Hey, hi. Hey, have a great night.
will it help? Will it help my situation? It will absolutely help any situation if you do it the way that your coaches guide you through it. If it's so good, why haven't I heard about it before? Well, most times we don't hear about good stuff until it's too late, but it's a blessing today that we are being introduced to this concept, right? So the whole process doesn't fully make sense to me, but it will make sense to you once you start doing it. Maybe not in the beginning, but it will make sense to you. All right, so I'm moving fast because I want to definitely introduce the man of the hour. So I'm running through this quickly because I know people are, their time is valuable. So the idea of what the velocity banking does is our concept teaches you. Traditionally, when you pay for your bills or whatever, you usually pay more money over time, right? Because the longer you have a bill, the more interest rate you pay. But with velocity banking, you're going to still pay money out your pocket, but you're going to pay less over time because of how fast you're going to be able to pay down debt and increase your cash flow. So one of our things is that we just ask anybody that comes into the program, and we do have students that have been in the program, that you just trust the program. If you believe in a higher power, whatever God that you believe in, trust that. Trust yourself, the process, and your coach. So without further ado, and I ran through that quickly, I would like to introduce to you and present to others my mentor, the man of the hour, Mr. Sabor Al-Demiri. Mr. Demiri, he's a husband, a father, a mentor. He is a real estate investor. He has 29 properties plus approximately $1.7 million in assets. He is an accredited investor. He is an acquisition manager of $40 million fund that's located out of Texas, Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina. And he has colleagues and brokers that manage about $2.5 million a month. He is known as the mortgage note broker in the world of mortgage lending. He has 4 LLCs, and he is a consult of the Velocity Banking Credit Services and the real estate investing of the whole debt weapon program. So Mr. Demore, Sabor Al-Demiri, can y'all give it up for him?
Yo, I got a lot of accolades, but that's not really, I'm just a working person, man. Trust me. They give me a lot of accolades. I'm just a real working man. So everybody, I just want you to unmute yourself through, as we always do in the beginning. And everybody repeat after me, please. You ready? I am
am
an investor.
An
an
investor.
investor.
I do not have a consumer mindset.
I do not have a consumer mindset.
Again, one more time for me. I am
an
an investor.
investor.
I do not have a consumer mindset.
I do not have a consumer mindset.
I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. So who wants to try to go? I'm going to give you a word. I want somebody to define it for me. Somebody define what velocity is. The word velocity. You can look it up. You can Google it. Somebody define what velocity is.
The coaches, can we play? Can the coaches play or no?
Sure, it's not a play. Yeah, sure. Sure.
Does it mean volume, like velocity means, or I'm just throwing it out. I haven't looked at the curve.
Velocity is the speed of motion, action, or operation.
So velocity is the speed, y'all. So velocity is the speed. Okay. So it's going to be your speed. It's going to be your accelerated movement speed, right? So the way we teach you in this program, for those that don't know, we're going to teach you basically how to use debt to level pay off debt. I know it sounds crazy. Anybody on this call, first time you hear me say it, they say, what? But we teach you how to use debt literally to pay off debt. But we're going to teach you the difference between amortized debt and simple interest debt. Amortized debt is something that you pay over time. And then simple interest debt is saying, hey, you take $100 from me, you owe me $5. Those things will help you accelerate your debt payoff. And I will give you an example later on. I just want you to know the word. When I say velocity, I mean speed, a speed of motion, speed of paying something off at accelerated rate. We teach you all these things so you clear yourself up to move to your next stages in our program, which is either going to be setting up a business or investing. I am a real estate investor. I have a real estate investment group in this program. I teach people how to buy properties, fix those properties up, sell or finance those by giving back to our community. Yes, we make money, but at the same time, you're helping people that's locked out with home ownership. That's the most important part. I know the money is good, but the other part is that you think about it. You're literally helping people that's locked out from home ownership. Okay. And especially now with the interest rates going up and people having harder times qualifying, what we do in this program is going to be so much more important to our communities. And again, this program is about giving back to not only to you, but the people that don't know about this stuff, right? So with that, I'm going to do a round table to anybody before we get started with the session. Anybody have any good news they want to share this week?
Yeah, investors that just got some signatures done for their loans, so we're looking to get that closed and get somebody in a seller financed home.
Yeah, and we're excited. Thank you, Sabor, for helping us with the process.
Always. So we had a group in our investment group, a party in our investment group. For those that don't know, they actually bought a property, they fixed it up, did a rehab on it, and they recently seller financed it to a young man. He makes excellent money. He makes like $7,000 a month, but the problem was his credit. So he could never get qualified for a house. So they seller financed the house for him. He's moving in. He's put a refrigerator in. He's put all his personal stuff in already this weekend. So all the investors signed their sale agreement, and he's signing the buyer's agreement. So the closing attorney is actually going to fund them now on their deals. So they'll get their funding next week or so. So we do have an investment meeting tonight after the call. So everybody in the investment meeting. And again, congratulations to you all. Anybody else?
So I do have some news. So I just did a credit line increase, 2 of my cards. So I got $900 on one, and then I had an additional, they gave me an additional $1,500 on another. So I am still working on that one, but I did get some line increases this week.
Nice.
Great job.
So I got a 50,000 on an American Express business card. Then I got a 25 on another card. It's a Visa. I don't even remember. Bank of America. That's who it is. So I got a 25 from Bank of America. So I am pretty excited. I really had not been myself doing like increases for me or looking for more cards. So I just decided this week, oh, heck, you got a little time. So I just kind of went on and did it.
Nice.
So yeah, so that's 75.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So between me and the wife this week, I also got a 50 and she got a 50K from American Express. Hold on, let me see if I can.
Great job.
Yeah. So, which screen am I? So she got 50 and I got a 50. I don't know if y'all can see my screen. So, yeah. So everybody's winning right now. So congratulations on that. Anybody else has any good news? No? All right. No, Keisha? No.
No.
She's like, call me out. Go ahead. No? Okay. So anyways, tonight I want to talk about setting yourself up for success, right? What we teach in this program is, again, I always tell you it's empowerment. It's moving you to the next level. You have to remember, there's people that come in this program, poor credit, bad credit, total file bankruptcy, secured card, no unsecured lines of credit, right? All types of situations. But now to this day, they have unsecured lines of credit. You know, some people that came in this program, $250, $500 secured card now has anywhere to $60,000 to $70,000. Rochelle and Armando, $720,000 in credit line. All this stuff sets you up for your next stages. Your next stages should be thinking about creating your business and also investing into your real estate. If not real estate, creating a passive income, right? You need some kind of passive income. You need to be creating generation. You need to be creating multiple streams of income. What we're teaching in this program is teaching you how to make your dollar work for you. And then those dollars work for you. And then those dollars work for you again. Now you're at the level with those little, your $1 is making you multiple streams, but then it gets even better. Now you built your credit lines up. Now I'm going to use OPM, other people's money, to make their money work for me. All our investors in this investment group, they use their lines of credit to buy their investment property, do their rehab. That literally means they use little to no money out of their own pockets. All they did was leverage their credit profile, and use that line of credit to purchase their property. Literally, this is the no money down, little money down method. Where people tell you that when you see that, they literally use OPM. So now they're using other people's money to make money. Does that make sense? So the problem, why I said that is setting yourself up, is you could also set yourself up for failure. And that's why I said, well, I wanted y'all to repeat the word velocity with me in the beginning. And I am not a consumer, I am an investor. Some people don't deserve credit. Honestly, some people do not deserve credit. I've seen so many people that we've helped get lines of credit and they balloon that credit and you don't see them no more. You know, $120,000 credit line. First thing they do, they go on vacation, they start rationalizing their spending and all types of stuff. And you're trying to warn them, you know, oh, you know, my wife deserved this, you know, I'm not, you know, and we needed this and we needed gutters and shit, you know, we blinds and all types. You start rationalizing your thoughts, right? So again, I want you to remember, you know, even though you have these high lines, they're for a purpose and a reason other than consumer stuff. We're trying to build you, get you set up to the next stages of your life. I want you to be making money because I don't know if you know it or not, nobody else, they're not going to pay you enough to live next door to them. They're not going to pay you enough to live next door to them. So I want you to be able to, you know, to be on your own, to learn this information that we share with you so you can actually have your own. We want you to have your own. I am not successful unless you're successful. We are not successful unless you're successful in this program, right? Am I true? So Rochelle and Armando, you know, since you're here, you have you know, I'm not calling you out again, but you have $720,000 in lines of credit. Do you go on vacation? Do you blur that money? What do you do with your money?
We're looking for the next property and we're looking for the next car that we can put on Turo. I mean, we're not throwing it away and shopping and going to the mall. I'm not doing that unless it's something I need, but you know, if it's something you need to wear, you know, and there's a need and there's a want. And
yeah,
want,
but how do you rationalize your needs from your wants? Because, you know, it can, my wife, she's queen of go. So, you know, sometimes I have to tell her to step back. So how do you rationalize what's a need and what's a want?
Okay, so a need to me is like something that I absolutely need and I can't live without it, which are your essentials, income, you know, your gas, your food, things like that. Once in a while, we'll go out and have something to eat on a Friday or something, go out to dinner, but it's not going crazy with the money, like just blowing it because there's all this high limit and you're looking at it going, wow, I can do it. But see, we're looking at what we're purchasing. Is that costing me to have that? Is that a liability or is that an asset that's going to bring me and produce me an income?
Using credit to build
Yeah.
income instead of using credit to get in debt is what we're focused on. Building
Right.
streams of income so that
Right.
we can eliminate the necessity of having to work for somebody else and build our own business, have freedoms and choices. And the only way you can do that is by security. And the only security that I can see a way of having security is having enough income coming in. But helping people along the way is the big part of it.
Yes.
Coach Rosie, you look like you're itching to say something. Go ahead, I'm listening. Oh, you know, you're fine. Anybody else want to chime in on what they're saying about how they use their lines? All right, so I'm not going to preach tonight, but I do want to talk about while I'm telling you why we're trying to set you up for success, and I will go into later slides of what I mean by that for those that's new on the call. But the first thing you know to set yourself up for success, you need to make sure you identify your goals and be, just identify your goals, and then learn what has worked and then double down on that. A lot of times you'll see people, they do one thing and then they learn something else or hear something else, and then they try to go chase after that. This system that we have in place is so good. It has worked so many times. And you do not have to reinvent the wheel on what we teach here. All you have to do is follow your coach's plan, follow your plan, trust in us, trust in yourself, and trust in God. I promise you, you're going to be on top, but again, some people, they'll learn one thing and then they go hear something else and they hear velocity banking, infinite banking, and this and that, and they want to put everything into the life. You have to learn what hasn't worked for you and then double down on what has. And I promise you, what we teach in this program has worked and worked over and over. Multiple people on this call, sometimes people hear our testimonies and I'll get these random messages saying that the testimonies on our videos just seem so unreal. They can't believe the success and the how fast people are paying things off, the types of credit lines they have, and the investments they're getting into, the youth having 700, 800 credit scores, having 205,000 plus credit lines. It's hard for people to believe that because it seems so unreal. But these are strategies and methods that we have taught over and over again. So we learn what has not worked. And then what we put in our program is the thing that that has worked. So we double down on the thing that has worked, right? So then next is to create a plan. Of course, if you're in the program, we have created a plan for you. You have your coaches, you have your groups, you have your private Facebook pages where we can discuss information. But again, you have to create that plan, but not only create the plan, you have to execute that plan. I'll always tell you guys, yes, knowledge is powerful, but it's even more powerful when you put it into action, right? So next is, set up ways to measure your progress. I'm not sure. Most people that I know previously coming into here program, they had not the best credit. They seldom looked at their credit scores, right? Now, I'm pretty sure they check their credit score. How many people want to testify they check their credit score at least once, 2 times, 3 times? Yeah. So, that's the way that's the way that most people in this group have measured their progress, by their credit score. But again, we don't just teach you how to build your credit score. We teach you how to build your credit profile for what Renee said. You want to look financially sexy to the banks. But most people are going to look at their credit score because after they build their credit profile, in order for them to, gauge their success. Anybody that's over get in the 700 club, your credit score becomes very important to you. So you want to just keep growing and you want to watch it. You want to make sure you don't go back the opposite way. Next one is find a mentor. Again, we are a debt weapon program. Our coaches are amazing. I love each and every one of them. They always try to say, I just believe in all my angels. We call them Al angels. We call them Sabor's angels, but I believe in all of them. They're very, we've come a long way, all of us together as a community, as a group. So I'm very proud of my coaches. But you have to find a mentor. Sometimes we think we know it on our own, or we hear information, or we think that we can do it on our own, and you end up opening up a map. You know how many people used to use the map and have to pull over and try to find directions, and then you end up just turning around. What we have created for you in this program is a GPS. We get you from point A to point B fast, not having to go through all, highway Route 1, the old back way. We don't do all that here, okay? So, and then you want to make it easier on yourself. We're going to teach you ways to make it easier on yourself. I don't know not a person that's on this call that has not been stressed about their financial burdens or worries, but getting those credit lines, especially for the men, I would say it is a relief that you can actually say, woosah, I don't have to worry. So we want you to make it easier on yourself as you grow. You shouldn't be stressed or you shouldn't be stressed or anything like that as you're trying to grow financially. So what we do is help you get those high lines, and we show you how to move all this stuff over so that you're actually woosah. And I'm going to get to that in just a moment, okay? So again, you have to be patient and persistent in what we teach you and in yourself. You have to be patient and persistent. Look, I'm telling you, everybody on the call to tell you probably had a 500 credit score, 545, something like that. And now you're at a 700 and that thing stuck for 2-3 months. It's not moving. You have to be patient and you have to follow the thing, your goals. You have to be patient with this program. There are going to get times where it seems like it's stagnant, but what I always tell you is to, remember your celebration, celebrate your victory. Remember where you come from. You have to remember where you come from, because it easily I do it all the time. I can tell when I am not being grateful for the things that I have been blessed with, because it seems like everything starts happening, snowballing. And then I have to step back and I have to remember my victories. I have to remember sleeping on the floor. I have to remember those oodles and noodles. I have to remember going to sleep with oodles and noodles and hot dogs. And I have to step back and remember the victories and where I'm at now, So again, be patient, be persistent. And if you get stuck and you start feeling like it's stagnant, just remember where you come from. Just remember the steps you have gotten to now, to feel like I need to push myself. I'm not going to tell you not to push yourself forward, but I'm going to tell you not to stress yourself out. So anyways, and just make sure you continuously grow. As I said, just continuously grow. So anyways, so one goal with everybody in this program, we want your money to work for you, right? You want your money to work for you. You want to make money. So how many people have checking and savings account? Everybody have checking and savings account? How much interest you get off your checking and savings account?
Minimal.
Minimum, but you still got to
Less
make
than a
payments.
penny.
You said less than, I think it's 0.1 right now, right? With the inflation. So let me ask you this, and this is not for the people in the program, right? This is for people. So how do you get rewards points or cash back to pay those bills that you have to pay anyways? Do you see any cash back or rewards for paying your electricity bill? Anything like that?
Nope.
No? It's because it's coming right out of your checking account, right? To pay those bills, right?
Pretty much.
Okay. So what if I told you there was a method that you can pay all your monthly bills and all your household expenses at the same time, get cash back rewards and points, and to actually get money back just for pay your bills? A lot of people don't believe you can get that back. So, for example, how many people on the call that's in the program have actually got their credit lines together, moved all their debts over to their credit lines, and seeing cash back rewards every month just to pay their household bills?
Me.
Everybody? Anybody else?
I do.
So the money you get back in your cash back reward is a penny?
No, sir.
A lot more than pennies.
I know some people on the call are receiving anywhere from $200 to $500 in just to pay their monthly expenses that they have to pay anyways. So what I'm going to tell you is what we teach you in this program is we're going to teach you, you get paid right now, your money goes in your checking account, you pay your bills and you live off live off the rest of the money waiting for your next paycheck. Correct? I know it's so. Right? Anybody want to disagree? So what we're going to teach you is you get paid, your money goes in your checking account, your money goes to your line of credit. All of your bills and all your expenses are on your line of credit. Your line of credit is going to be credit card, personal line credit, HELOC, whatever your coach set up for you in this program. Now that money is recycled. When I make a payment out from my credit card, I make a payment from my checking back to that card. My money is always in rotation. My money is always growing. And I'm building a banking relationship. I know I know I'm talking it, I will show it. Some people cannot, learn from hearing it, but I will show it. So by repeating this every month, and I have a cashback rewards card or a points rewards card, I don't have to pay all the money out of my pocket to make those bills because I'm getting those statements. I can apply that money that I'm getting back to that statement. I bring more money back into my household because I don't have to spend that money. And I'm still making the monthly payments I have to pay anyways. And my payments covered. That's velocity banking. That's what we're teaching in this program. So your money is working for you. You're receiving interest or payments. You're receiving interest or payments in the form of cashback rewards, points on your lines of credit, and then you paying off your debt fast because we're teaching you a strategy of how to pay off that debt. Remember, the money you're going to spend anyways is just going right back to that line of credit. So you're paying off debt fast, you're building your credit, you're building banking relationships, but at the same time, what you're doing to financial institutions are you're building trust. That you're giving them the understanding and saying that they're in the comfortability that I can trust them with more. I can trust them with more of my money, right? So again, now from there, we're going to teach you, now that you have their trust, now we're going to teach you how to use their money to buy a property, use their money to do a rehab, use their money to bring more money into your household. Just imagine if I owe somebody $200 a month and I'm getting $1,400 a month off a property. Am I winning? Did I just bring more money? That's $1,200 I just brought back into my household. So again, we're teaching you how to use OPM. I owe you little money while I'm making big money. But again, it starts by velocity banking, building those things, building those relationships with the banks, letting them know. One time, I just recently, this happened to me. I was discussing with somebody. They were trying to get a mortgage, and they kept getting denied for the mortgage, and they didn't understand why. They kept selling their DTI, and also, the debt to income ratio was too high, and the credit was a little down. So he didn't understand. He was getting frustrated with this search because he really had to move. But I was telling him, this is me as a business. I want to know, what are you offering me? I am a business. Anybody, if you come to me right now, and again, this is you coming to me saying, Sabor, I need your help. You want to know what I am offering you. You want to know what I'm able to do for you. Banks and institutions are thinking the same exact thing. So if you don't have good credit, they're asking you to have good credit. If you don't have, your DTI is too high, they're asking you to have a low DTI. They want to help you, but you got to give them what they need. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't go to somebody and say, give me this, love me, but you don't love yourself. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we're dealing with when we talk about mindset. You have to build those trust factors, and with banks and institutions, but those trust factors come from having a low DTI, learning how to use your credit wisely, not relying on your credit. Some people, again, we talked about this last week, some people live off their credit. We want you to live for your credit because we want you to build those lines, take that lines of credit. Again, we'll teach you how to liquidate your credit card to actually buy real estate. Teach you how to pay investors, pay vendors, pay your contractors, pay your closing costs. All those type of stuff can be done by using your credit profile. But again, we're not taught this stuff because we were taught credit was bad. We were taught that, stay away from credit. But only thing that did would hurt us. We continuously stay behind on the dial while every other generation continuously be ahead of us by 3. And I don't want that. We have to have somebody in our community to say, we all need to eat. We all need to win, right? Anyways, so why I feel like the investment strategy that we teach is the best in how velocity banking sets you up to win. So again, Velocity banking is about teaching you how to pay off debts fast, right? But it's not only teaching you how to pay off debts fast, it's also building your credit score at the same time. It's also building you a banking relationship. It's also taking your finances to the next level. It's also having your money works for you. There's so many pros to what we teach in this program that it actually sets you up to win. Then after we set you up to win, we want you to start doing what we do and buying investment properties. Having that, some people buy and hold, some people buy property and sell the mortgage note, but whatever, again, everybody knows me and my wife, we know how many properties that we have and what we do for our communities. But, why I talk about, I want you to win, everybody that has properties on this call or came to me that already had rental properties, you wasn't really cash flowing. Because soon you had to manage your tenants. You had the potential of property damage. You had the reduce of income when somebody moved out. Not only that, you have to say you made $5,000 for the whole year on a rental property. That person leases up, they move out. Then you go get the contract to come in. The contractor charges you $15,000. Did I win? Did I win? Multi-family rentals, again, you have multiple vacancies, you have manager fees, you have, employees, renters, managers that you have to deal with, all these things, right? Wholesaling, you have to find motivated sellers and buyers. You can find a deal, but a lot of times it's hard to find motivated sellers, first of all, then you have to find motivated buyers. Most of these properties are distressed properties with no little upside. They don't have no value coming into them, right? And then you have to deal with a lot of rejections. You're doing a lot of marketing to potential homeowners and potential buyers. So you're getting rejected on both sides. And then subject to, you have the due on sale clause. It can be accelerated when you take over or sign, send the deed over to the county. Sellers not comfortable taking the risk now. They DTI is too high. Now they moved out of their place. Now they can't even get qualified for a new property because that property is still on their thing. These are the things that we were taught coming into real estate in the ways that we've been conditioned that if you want to do real estate, these are most of the things that most of us do, right? Those 4 things are mostly what we are taught to do. In my program, I'm teaching you not to do none of these. We're teaching you how to be the bank. I want you to sit back and collect interest and mortgage monthly payments of principal and interest payments. Again, sit back and collect monthly payments of principal interest for the next 30 years, for the next 15 years, for the next 5 years, whatever your tenant decides to pay, the way their payment structure is, whatever the terms is of that loan. Again, sit back. This is what we call mailbox money. Guess what I don't have to do? I don't have to worry about leaky faucets and toilets, anybody calling me in the middle of the night. They own that property. I don't have to worry about vacancies and all that stuff. Only thing that I have to worry about is somebody not making their monthly payment. But again, I am the bank. We always know with gambling, the house always wins. They don't make their payment, I take back that property. They didn't put a fence in. The investment people on the call, they could tell you, we didn't change windows in this property. This guy came in and changed windows. He repaved the asphalt, the driveway, and he's putting a new fence up. Guess what he just did? He thinks he owned the property, but again, the bank owned that property too. He pays off that mortgage. So if he stops paying, he just forced our equity. Now we can sell that property if we have to take it back from him and sell it at a higher price. He just gave us a game plan. So we don't lose what we teach in the strategy. You know what I mean? In this program, we don't lose. We don't have to go through none of these things that we've heard of before. Armando, you wanted to speak. I'm sorry, sir. I saw you.
I don't know. I was agreeing. We have improvements happening with us not being in the house. And as you said, if he decides to walk, we end up with the benefit. And that makes a lot of sense because we can now list it at a much higher price.
Yes, sir. So yeah, and believe I've took back a property multiple times, and every time I took back a property, I was able to sell it, finance it for a higher dollar amount. That means I've continuously increased my net cash flow, my monthly cash flow coming into my household. So if somebody be stupid and not make a payment and we have to foreclose on them or take back the property, they just basically gave us a leg up. And again, most people, you already know, you live in if you own your home, you're going to do little upgrades. You're going to do things that force the appreciation. You want your house to look pretty. You want your home to be a home. But what you're doing a lot of times is that if you're not careful and still have a consumer mindset, you can get yourself into a hole and can't make those payments. But now you're setting yourself up for the bank to take back that property. And the bank is always, again, the house always wins. So again, but we try to educate our tenants and we try to give it back to our tenants. We don't just foreclose. We work with them. We, there's different things, but again, that's an investment group. So anyway, I have a case study here that we like to do on these calls, and it's basically for the people that's new to give people an opportunity to see what we're talking about. And because I know not being in the program can seem kind of, what we're talking about here can seem kind of off, but so what we teach in this program this is a basic of what we teach in this program. So anybody that's in the course, anybody that's not in the course, you can actually, or anybody want to try to chime in, please chime in, right? So here we have a person, they have an income of $5,000. They have a mortgage. Again, I'm not putting the mortgage balance. We're not working off the mortgage this time, y'all. We're just doing off the monthly payment. They have a mortgage of $1,500. They have household expenses of $1,200. They have car payment one, $375. Car payment two, $225 with a remaining balance of $6,000. Credit card one, they pay $25. A limit of $900. A balance of $900, I'm sorry, a limit of $1,000, and it's a secured card. Card number two, they pay $70 and $75 a month, $1,500 limit, $1,500 balance, and a limit of $3,000. And then they have a $3,000 savings. We talked about this before. I'm just going to mention this. So this is a hint. Having money in your checking and savings does nothing for you. Have that money start working for you. So anybody wants to tell me how much is their net cash flow? For the new people on the call, the way we calculate net cash flow, you have to know three numbers in our program. That's going to be your income, your expenses, minus those two, give you your cash flow.
$1,600.
So they have $1,600 in net cash flow. Everybody agree?
Yes.
So they have $1,600 for the people that's new every month. Watch what we do in this program. Watch what we do now. I want you to pay attention to what we do. We have $1,600 a month in net cash flow. We have $3,000 in savings. What's the first thing that I'm going to do?
Pay off the balance of both of those credit cards.
Pay off the balances of both of those credit cards. Everybody agree?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. What is that? How much is left over that I have after I pay off those balances?
$2,200.
Sorry, give me 1 second. I had to pull my calculator up because I lost my numbers. So we have $600 left over, right? After we pay off those two cards from the 3,000.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what happened with us? What just happened with my credit score by paying those two off?
Credit score just went
It
up.
went up.
It jumped.
It jumped up just by paying those off. Because one of the major factors with your credit score, of course, first one is payment history. But there's another factor that takes up 30% of your credit score. And this is where this secured card, it was over 90% of that, right? We teach you not to be over 30% of all your available credit. So think about it, 30% of your credit limit you're not allowed to use, and also utilization makes up 30% of your credit score. Anytime you're over 30% of your credit, your available credit, your score tanks, right? So this is going to be a lesson here. Again, 30% of your score is based off your utilization. Also, you should not go over 30% of your available credit or your score is going to tank. Make sense? All right. So now here we go. We have paid off the two credit cards. We had a net cash flow of $1,600, and we also have a positive cash flow left over of $600. What are we going to do next? Anybody tell me what we're going to do next? And that was less than a week. Tell me what's our next step.
Proper principal payment on card number one.
Okay, so we have $4,000 and we can't go over 30%. So how much of that are we going to be able to liquidate, please?
$1,200.
I'm gonna take $1,200 off of our line of credit.
Mhm.
Again, we're not going to use our net cash flow. We know we have 1,600. We want to utilize our lines of credit. We're going to take $1,200 off of our line of credit and drop it on card number one. Card number one. Even though we have $1,600, you're going to take the $1,200 off your line of credit. Why? Anybody want to tell me why? Very simple. We want you to make money. Think about it. What do you get?
Rewards.
Cashback rewards or points. So you're always going to utilize that cashback rewards method. You're taking $1,200 off, dropping it on principal only on that card. You rinse and repeat again the next month. That card in the next month, that card is paid off in 2.5 months, right? So now you have card number one paid off in 2.5 months, and you bring back what happens because you paid off that card. What happens in 2.5 months?
Credit score goes up again.
Your
Your
cash
credit
flow.
score jumps. Your cash flow jumps and your credit score jumps. And you
Cash
can
flow.
use all of that excess on the remaining car payment.
Yes, ma'am. So again, what she said was your cash flow jumps, your credit score jumps, and you'll be able to use that new cash flow to pay off the card number two. When she said that your cash flow jumps, it means you had $1,600. I no longer have to make a $350 payment after 2.5 months. I bring that money back into my household. What does that take my net cash flow up to?
1,075.
19,075. So here, I would probably do one or two things because we know our credit score is good. I would go ahead and directly tack the next card number two, bring that other 250 back into the 275, 225, I'm sorry, back, I was everything, 225 back into the household, right? Or I would stop here and get new lines of credit and get you higher lines of credit. That way I can leverage more. You know what I mean? Because I already know my credit score is good. I already paid off three things. So my credit score has jumped up. I'm in the 700 club. I'm going to get new higher lines of credit. And now say I get you, say we do $40,000 in unsecured lines of credit now. It's doable, right? We've all seen it in this program. I get you $40,000 of lines of credit. How much can I liquidate off that 40,000?
$12,000.
12,000 before my credit score tank. That means at 12,000, I'll be at 30%. But I don't even need 12,000.
Right.
I only need 6, so I'm at 15. Again, my score shoots up. I take the 6 off of my line of credit, pay off the car. I went from 1975 to what? Because now I don't have the car payment number 2. Again, I paid off another car and my cash flow increases. That means I brought that money back into my household because I don't have to make that payment anymore.
So your cash flow is now 2,200 a month.
So my cash flow is now 2,200 a month. What else do we have? So now I'm going to remember I took 6,000 off of that line of credit. I need to pay back the 6,000 from that. How many months does it take me?
3, a little over 2.
2.5.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
2.5 months to pay it off.
2.5 months. So altogether in probably 6 to 7 months, I'm debt free. Besides my mortgage and my monthly household expenses. Besides my 1,500 and my 1,200. My cars are paid off, my credit cards are paid off, and I'm debt free, right? 6 to 7 months. It's fair to say, everybody sees that?
Yes.
All right, y'all gotta give me, I'm sweating over here, it's hot in here. We turn the air off because it's windy from the storm, but I'm burning up. But anybody new on the call have a question about that before we move on? Does that make sense to you, what we did here? All right, so now we only have our mortgage and our household expenses. I'm going to take my household expenses and move all those over to my line of credit, my $40,000 line of credit. So now my bills are still being paid. My cash flow is 2,200. I only have $1,200 coming out of my on my household expenses. So I'm always covered. So if you think about it, even though you have $1,200 coming out, you still have $2,200 coming in, because that only $1,200 of your money is going to be used to recycle your bills every month. So as soon as my bills hit, I take $1,200 out of my from my line of credit. They take $1,200 off my line of credit. I'm going to take $1,200 from my checking and put it right back to my line of credit, bring it back to zero. Because I put that money back to zero, I didn't lose that money in my checking account. I actually have it to use again in my line of credit. I'm rinsing, repeating my money. Again, let me explain it. They take $1,200 off every month for my expenses. I already have that money for my net cash flow. I take $1,200 and pay it back to my line of credit. I bring it back to zero. I do not lose that money because I brought it back to zero. I still have $1,200 to use again in my line of credit. Let's take the line of credit out of here. Go back to the checking. They take $1,200 out every month for my bills off of auto pay. I lose $1,200 every month. I have to wait to recoup that for my next paycheck, because I cannot go back to them and say, hey, I made a mistake. Give me that money back. Can I borrow that again? You lose money when you're coming out of your checking account. We want you to use your line of credit. That way that money is always in an 8, it's always an infinite circle. They take $1,200 off of my line of credit. I take $1,200 from my checking account and pay it to my line of credit. My balance goes back to zero. I still have that money. It's just in another vehicle. It's another form. Okay. All right. So I'm going to end there. Oh, I did want to show the worksheet. I'm sorry. I did say that I wanted to show the worksheet. I have to stop sharing here. Give me 1 second. Andrew, did that make sense to you, bro? Mr. Curtis. You probably can't hear me.
Hold on, sorry about that.
Oh, no, I said, did that make sense to you, what I was saying?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, got you. All right, so we're just gonna play with this right here. This is the velocity banking worksheet that we have here. It is part of the course material. It gives you you put your your revenue here, your debts on this one, personal expenses. If you have business expenses, your loan calculator. And what happens is every time, this is your cash flow sheet. It's just a face sheet. What happens is when I put something in on this side, 100,000, it automatically goes back to my cash flow sheet. So I start seeing my expenses and things like that as I fill this out. And I put it in the wrong source. That's why I didn't generate it. So when I go back to here, it should just start showing my fields. But all this, you can't, clicking on it, you can't move it. You have to fill out your other forms over here in order for you to get your cash flow sheet. And what this does is as you input all your information here, your revenues that you have coming in, it also asks for your credit scores and give you some other information that we will show you how to fill out. It should put your debts here. What happens is it will calculate all this, and down here, it will show you what is your net cash flow. Does it make sense? So just in case somebody don't understand, I'm just going to say if I have a payment here, I'm just going to put 250 just to show you, and I go click out of here and go back over here. What's going to happen is it's going to show me my balances. So my cash flow starts getting eaten up as it goes down, as I input more information. But anyways, that is our worksheet that we use for our program. So I just wanted to go over here and show you a loan. Somebody got a car loan. Say their cash flow is the remaining balance on their car loan, or they bought a buyer, just whatever the situation is. They have $11,000 car that they purchased with a 7% interest rate on a 5-year term. They're paying $217 a month. And they say they just, for example, they have $2,500 net cash flow. $2,500. How many months does it take to pay off this car by doing the velocity banking way? Taking $2,500 off your line of credit, just to get the cashback rewards, their cash flow is $2,500 every month. How many months? Anybody want to answer that? It'll take to pay that off.
You said it's 2,500?
Mm-hmm.
7 to 8 months.
I got 4 months.
4 months.
Yeah, 4.
4 months. Everybody see that? All right. So I'm gonna stop sharing this screen again. I'm going back to my other screen. Sorry, guys. Did that make sense to you, Chris?
I'm taking it all in all at one time.
Okay, okay. I don't want you to take too much in. That's why I try to slow down. I'm a fast talker, man. But I'm not a fast talker to hustle you. I'm just fast talking. But I want to make sure it makes sense to you, right? Do
Yeah,
you
it
understand
makes
what?
sense.
Okay.
It makes sense. It's just I've never heard it before, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us haven't, but the reason why we started teaching this, and this is my background, is that because I was taught this, I wasn't given this either, right? I was taught this because I was struggling. I just happened to work with some good people that actually taught me this method and cleared up my debt. But what it does is it helps you put yourself, again, set you up for success, right? Everybody on the call, you tell you, it sets you up for success to move on to the next stage in your life. We're not taught financial literacy. We're not talking proper banking. And if you do have good credit score, it's just because it's you just focus on something, but you didn't really know what you're doing. You know what I mean? You just focus on the number, not the profile, not to pay off debt, not to move dial to build banking relationships. You know, most people open up a checking account just to have a checking account. But we're teaching you to open up a checking account now for products and services and relationships and things like that. Going into banks, now your mindset is changing. You're moving to another level in your finances in this program.
You all set, Sabor?
Yes, I'm about to share my screen one more time. Sorry, I'm getting off the phone call. I know I can run my mouth.
No, it's okay.
I heard you. I heard you. So what we're doing now, for those, we had a lot of people. I had one-on-ones with a lot of people. They did not feel comfortable paying the type of money that we charge for the course just yet. So we have created a coming back again, a monthly membership. However, the monthly membership do not get you the course. The monthly membership only getting you the same type of material, the information that you have, the coaching, the private Facebook page, and you don't get the velocity banking worksheet. You would get the summary sheet. Some of you have the summary sheet already. You'll get the summary sheet. The velocity banking worksheet, the one-on-one coaching, all the stuff, sitting down in the group coaching, is still only part of the course material, and the investment courses and things like that. So we do have the membership coming back. Again, it's for the Friday call, the Friday Facebook page, the velocity banking debt tracker, not the form that I just showed you guys, and also the 2 ebooks. Both of the ebooks is a DIY, velocity banking, and also the credit building. You do get 65 letters, credit repair letters in there. I think it is. You get a list of credit repair letters. You get a lot of information to do it on your own. However, the courses are going to give you that one-on-one interaction, the accountability calls. I love my accountability calls, seeing the success and growth of everybody. Make sure people follow through on their plan. Make sure people doing the homework. Your assessments in your courses, you do have assessments. Make sure assessments are being completed, all that type of stuff. More personal stuff are coming with the courses than you get with the monthly membership. But we do have the monthly membership coming. That's back. You can reach out to Rosie or Renee for getting that set back up for those that want to get back into the program or those that's interested in the program. But I definitely recommend you do the course. But again, I know some people don't have those high lines of credit coming into our program. I know people have built their lines of credit, but some people don't have those high lines. But we highly, highly recommend you have those courses because it takes you on a whole different level in a plane of existence. And there you go, Renee. I'm done.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you, Sabor, first of all, for always sharing this information and always trying to educate us as people so that we can make moves and that we can make changes and invest in our lives, and we don't have to always be at the bottom of the totem pole, right? And we definitely don't want to be those crabs in the barrels, because that's not what our program is about. The program is really to help us to help each other, motivate each other, and keep people moving so that we can make changes in our lives, and not only in our lives, but our children's lives if we have those, or even just creating a legacy. There's so many times that when you look at other cultures and other things, like we just never feel like we can catch up. But this program has allowed us to be able to begin to do that. So if anybody new is on the call, please feel free to unmute yourself. If you like to introduce yourself, tell us where you're calling from. And if you got anything value, any content value from this call tonight, we really, really would love to hear it. So the floor is open to all the new people on the line. So if anybody would like to say something, now's the time. I don't want to call people out, but go on. Oh, go ahead.
My name is Cheryl Brantle, and I was referred to this call by Renee. She's a coworker of mine, and I find the information to be very valuable at this time of my life. I'm planning for my retirement soon, so I'm looking for the opportunity to build wealth.
Well, great. Well, thank you for joining the call today. I appreciate you being on. Yes, give her a hand. She got bold and introduced herself, right? Anybody else on the call that is new that would like to introduce themselves or say anything? We don't force. You don't have to. We just do open it up. So
I'm sorry, Renee, what was her name? I'm sorry, I didn't catch her name.
Cheryl, she's a coworker.
Cheryl. Okay, Cheryl. So I just want to let you know there's multiple people on here planning on retiring in our investment group. Armando and Renee herself are heading towards that way. Again, we're trying to teach people how to, and I didn't even talk about what we do as far as the investment side, but what I do is I'll buy a property, right? Say I'll buy a property for $50,000. We always think of our mindset, every dollar out, $2 in, right? So I'll buy a property for $50,000. I'll seller finance that property for 100 plus. Now those people are paying me for 30 years at a 10% or whatever interest rate that comfortable. So it's just saying that example. I want to pull up my calculator because I am a numbers person, so I do the stuff in my head, but I want to make sure you see what I'm saying. But give me 1 second here. And I'm pulling my calculator up, y'all. So this is for my investment group. They already know this stuff. So this is my go-to. So say I buy a property again for $50,000. Let's just say I sell and finance that property to somebody that cannot get traditional lending. They have poor credit, not enough money for down payments, some kind of banking history, maybe bank fraud, maybe something that stopped them from buying a home. You know, it's really hard to get traditional homes. So now I bought that property. I'm going to go there and say, hey, I'll seller finance this property to you. I'll be your bank and you'll pay me monthly. They get title and all that stuff. All I do is go on as a lien holder. So I say I sell the house for $100,000. I'm just going to double up on my money, y'all, right now. Even though we always go higher, but I'm gonna double up. So I get, come on, you want to let me type my zero in here?
No pressure.
Yes, ma'am. So now I sold the property for $100,000 at 10% on 30 years. They only have to pay me $878 in principal and interest. That is less than most people, way less than most people paying the interest. I mean, and rentals, right? I just took somebody that was a rental property paying $1,400, $1,600, $1,800 a month for a 2-bedroom somewhere. Now they actually we buy normally a 3-bedroom, 1 to 1.5 bath house. And they're paying $878 a month to me.
What's a significant difference?
What's the difference, you mean?
No, it's a difference.
Yes, it is. But look at the power of what you just did. So we have two exit strategies that we can teach you. We can teach you one to hold. If you hold that property, look how much they're going to pay you in interest. Wow. Over 30 years. A lot of money. $215,000 in interest. On top of their principal $100,000 that they have to pay you back. off of your $50,000 initial investment. Does that set you up to receive, for success?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So Sabar, if I can just piggyback off of that real quick, just to emphasize like how we are really helping people. So if you have a person that's actually paying rent for $1,400 a month, they're gonna buy a house and pay you $878 a month, right? And now you don't have to deal with roof leaking, electricity problems, plumbing problems, window problems, or nothing like that. You're just collecting the mortgage. And not only are you helping, you're helping them with that, but you're also helping the person who's buying the home, because now you're increasing their cash flow to be able to make sure they can pay you your mortgage.
Yes, correct.
Right? So you just put $600 back in their pocket, but you are still the owner of that property, and you are sitting, and like he said, it's mailbox money. You can sleep and you get that check every single month.
I got ACH, but I still literally get mailbox money. I have most of my clients set up for ACH payments, but we still literally get mailbox money. But our second strategy that I was about to say, exit strategy, would be to sell that mortgage loan once we create it. There's a secondary market that's transferred. That's what I do as my job. I'm an acquisition manager. I buy loans from other banks and private institutions. I sell it to other investors. That's an extra strategy that we can teach you in this program to actually now say that you use $50,000. You only can sell the mortgage loan not off the interest, the interest that will be paid in the future, because again, things happen, but you can sell it off the principal balance. I sell that mortgage loan off a $100,000 balance for $90,000. I just made $40,000 return in a matter of months. That is 100% ROI, 110% ROI. I can rinse and repeat and do the same thing over again and over again and over again. And each time I'm bringing in $40,000 to $50,000 more into my household, setting yourself up for retirement.
And that's not including the lines of credit that you have, which you can still use and not even use your return on your investment money to reinvest in something different. Right. So this is what we do, and this is what we individuals. And I do thank you for being on the call, because I've been inviting her for a while, and she came on tonight. So I'm very grateful and thank you. I'm just going to shout out to my other coworker, Chris Little. You can say hi. You don't have to speak.
Hey, how's everybody?
You want to say something?
Oh no, I'm just appreciative that you invited me, and my coworker Branto. Hey, how you doing, Branto? Thank you very much, and it was very informational. It was I got a lot. I probably will talk to you at work and ask some more questions, but it was a lot, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So so for you guys, we all know we all work in that place. So we just chit chat every once in a while when stuff ain't going on. And I do see, and I'm not gonna ask him to come on, but I did have my cousin on the call tonight. He probably won't speak because I think he's at an event, but Mr. Christopher Fulton is my first cousin. And I've been inviting him as well. And I'm very grateful that he came on the call tonight. And I hope that you got some nuggets and some information that you found beneficial. And if anybody else is new that I don't know, I hope that there was something that you took some value from tonight, and that you are marinating on what we discuss here and how we can actually help you get to where you want to be in the next stage of your life. This is a great opportunity. And I mean, we pay for these things, but when you invest in yourself in something like this, your return on it is going to be greater than what you've paid out. So I just want you to, and that's what I really wanted to say. Ro, did you wanted to say anything? No?
I just wanted to say to everyone, thank you guys for coming on tonight. I hope that you have certainly gained some great knowledge from what Sabor has shared on tonight. I know for a fact that once you're a part of this program, that it truly works, and it will definitely change your life. Our credit is everything. I mean, we tend to hide from it, but it is everything to getting to some of the things that you really need to do in life. So thank you guys for coming on tonight. Love you.
So before y'all go, I just want to say, if you have people that you know can benefit from this, please invite them to the Friday call. This is not a closed-in session. We need to get this message out. We need to have more people learning this. With the rising cost of inflation, the cost of goods, we lose our buying power. Every family is going to suffer. More people are going to be living paycheck to paycheck, or even worse. We're going to be facing foreclosures. We're going to be facing loss of incomes because businesses have to shut down because of the inflation, cost of goods, and all this stuff. So more people are going to. So again, I don't want people, and especially my people on this call, I don't want you to have to adapt. I want you to stand out. So again, if you feel you find people that can actually benefit from it, please, 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 we need our people to stand out. And again, I can't. I can't be successful unless you're successful. You know what I mean? I can't tell you to do something and make this program look bad. So trust me, we're going to make sure you win. Right. So anyways, my investment people, please stay on the call. We have to have our investment meeting today because we didn't get to have it earlier in the afternoon.
Before we do that though, I just wanted to shout out to Matt. He didn't say anything, but he did put a note in the chat to Keisha for the invite. Thank you. Like, guys, please invite people to these calls because what we're sharing is definitely life-changing. And we're not going to keep, because we really only try to keep this call to 1 hour because we know everybody works and we really want to be respectful of your time. We did run over a little bit today, but these calls usually only last an hour unless we have a lot of Q&A after the call. So hopefully we'll see you all next week. Same time, same channel. Come with some positive energy, and we'll see you all next week. And thank you all again for being here.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Have a nice evening.
everyone.
Good night, everyone.
All right, good
Good
night.
night, everyone.
My investment people, please do not hang up. I need you.
Yeah, I
What
think
else we have? All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, let me lock this meeting. All right, so everybody got their documents sent in. Shoot, hold on. Let me stop this meeting too.